Gamers Talking Gaming. Here today we're with Kevin Crone. I'm really excited about this. Today it's number 9. Kevin's out there in Sacramento?
Stockton.
What's going on in Stockton, dude?
A lot of havoc.
What does that mean?
You know what's up if you live here. If you're from Lodi, Manteca, Modesto, Tracy, Turlock, you know what's going down in Stockton.
Is it like Sons of Anarchy shit?
No, not really. It's more of it's like Compton's lesser known cousin.
Compton's lesser known cousin?
Yeah.
So it's pretty
Compton,
gangster.
You hear is pretty bad.
Right.
Compton would be like an amplified version of Stockton. Like there's a lot of homicides here.
Shit, man.
Like the homicide number last year was well in the hundreds.
Is it from drugs? Is it just like shitty culture? I mean, what fuels people to do this?
I doubt it would be drugs. I think one of the only main things that would be running through here is like cocaine or weed.
Now we're talking.
Which I doubt anybody would fucking kill over weed unless it's like they're trying to get some product so they can fucking sell it, make some money, you know.
Oh, I know.
Simple shit where they basically they don't have money, so I don't know, it's all ridiculous. You hear about a lot of shootings.
Are you trying to get out of there?
Just not liking one another. Huh?
Are you trying to get out of Stockton? I mean, do you want to live there in your adult life?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Okay, well, best of luck with that. I know you work at... Here's a couple things we want to talk about. I want to talk about... First things first, man, I'm super glad you're on because I know you're funny. I've consistently said you can look at someone's Instagram and kind of tell or reflect of what kind of person they are in real life. And people have wanted you on. I've wanted you on. And I'm stoked as hell. And I'm creeping on your Instagram right now.
Okay.
And dude, I thought you were way uglier than me. Not even close. I got to grow this beard to hide this fucking ugly face. You're a good looking dude, man. I'm going to play this right now.
Trying to explain to you that you should start going to the gym. Just look at how powerful I am.
I see the chin.
Look at that
I see the chin. I see the chin.
I know, just look at the...
You got that Nintendo Jest thing going on where like you look like a new person in every single one of your pictures. You look like 14 different people.
Yeah. I try something new every now and again.
Well,
like
about
a year ago when I moved into this house, originally what happened was I think it was like February 9th. My brother's dad had passed away. It's a pretty bad time.
Hey, sorry to hear, man. I'm not trying to strike any nerves on the show at all.
But like the next day I moved into the house with my brother because he was going to live here to take care of his dad's dogs. Okay. And, you know, we found a lot of wacky shit. Like, we found a giant dildo in his dad's nightstand. We found tanning glasses. Yeah, we found a lot of interesting stuff. And there's still a lot more interesting stuff. He has a bang list, which my mom's name happened to be on that fucking list.
Whoa. A bang list? Like people you want to sleep with before you die?
Like, no. Like,
people you've already slept with.
Like a black book of people you've already slept with.
Damn, I thought I was the only one that did that. But keep going.
And we found some tanning glasses. You know how like small those are. Yeah. And I wore those, and I just made like ridiculous faces, and it was actually one of my profile pictures a while back. About a year ago.
Is it the one now where you look like Inigo Montoya from The Princess Bride?
No, that's not the one. That was actually a picture I took because one day I came home from work, and apparently while I was at work, my brother had this cat mask that he painted a bunch of weird shit on it.
Cat mask.
And he put it on a microphone stand in my room in the corner, like right next to my door. So I'm assuming he thought that I'd walk in, turn off the light, and then go right to sleep and then wake up and just see that in my room. But as soon as I went in my room, went to close the door, and I saw it, so I took a picture with it, and I was like, oh man, he tried to get me so good, but that wasn't gonna fucking work.
It sounds like you and your brother are consistently pranking each other. Has that kind of been like a history of growing up and stuff?
Well, he does it when I'm not here, more or less, but I do it more. I don't do it as much as he does.
You're
But I
more
would
you're
do
more
it
mature.
more. I would do it more when he's like right in front of me. Like
Cool.
one time I was at work and wait, no, I was cleaning up my room,
Okay.
which it was really dirty, and I found like a weird portrait of a Mexican family. No idea. I'll send you a picture if I can find it. I don't
Was it a
remember where I
real
put it.
picture? Was it like a stock picture that you
It
buy?
was a very, very real picture.
Okay.
And it was absolutely ridiculous. I just found it somewhere in my closet, I think.
That's good.
And I showed my brother, and we left it out in the living room. And then I got home from work,
Yeah.
and this time I didn't see it until I woke up, and I looked over, and my brother hung it up on my wall, kind of just where I like have a bunch of my shit
Yeah.
in my room, and I'm just like, why the fuck did you put that picture up there? He's like, don't move it, just don't move it.
Just keep it up there. Once it's up, it's
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, if anybody comes into your room and they're like, why do you have a picture of a Mexican family? Just be like, why don't you?
Yeah. Turn it, flip the
You're
script.
Yeah, like you're the weird one.
Can I ask
Stop
you?
making me feel insecure.
Yeah. I had kind of a story like that. I had a buddy growing up in college, and we had a little baby picture of him. I think his parents wanted him to be like the next Macaulay Culkin or whatever.
Oh, man.
Yeah, they put him through all that bullshit, child star and all that shit. Kevin, and we stole it, and I think it's still going around. Of course, we've added a couple Sharpie additions to the part where he slaps his face and opens his mouth. I don't know if you remember.
Oh God.
Yeah, but
It was one of those pictures. Like
isn't
it's not like a regular baby picture. It was one where he's like,
No, it's
putting on
candid.
aftershave.
Yeah, the kid is putting on aftershave. His hair is way too done up for like a 5-year-old. He has like a blonde Jerry curl. It's totally staged. And when I caught hold of that,
There's like blonde Prince or blonde Rick James.
I'm gonna track this picture down. I don't have it. It was on my fireplace in college and stuff. He went to Cal Poly. I went to Sonoma, but we had it. We stole it from Cal Poly, brought it to Sonoma. But I'll track it down and I'll put that picture throughout. I put pictures throughout these little podcasts to kind of, I don't know, I guess make it more entertaining.
They're definitely entertaining. When I watched a few of them, I was laughing.
Can I ask you a serious question?
Absolutely.
Have you ever heard of a company called Nintendo?
Whew. I'm looking at a lot of Nintendo right now.
What's your earliest video game memory, whether it's Nintendo or not?
It's definitely Nintendo.
Definitely Nintendo? Because you're about 10 years younger than me, right? So all the systems were out by the time you were 5, 6, 7 years old?
The Super Nintendo was 3 years old by the time I came, but by the time I came out.
You're born in 95?
No, 94.
94, okay.
It came out in 91, right? Maybe that
There's
was
always
Japan.
like the Japanese, North American, I don't know. I don't want to get quoted on
The
this. 'Cause-
differentials.
Yeah. I always say 1992 because I had it in 1992.
Okay. Well,
But anyway, okay, so you're 3 years old.
Wikipedia.
Pulled up?
Somebody's gonna correct me.
Sure.
That's usually how it goes when you're in the comment section.
So what happened with that
But,
Super Nintendo memory?
Funny shit. My mom has a photo album with several pictures of us, like when we were little, like doing a bunch of shit. But there's like a few pictures, and one of them was of me laying in the living room floor, just butt ass naked, playing Super Mario Brothers 3 on Super Mario All Stars.
Nice.
And there's another one, and I actually remember very well. It was just a picture of me on the couch. There was no picture of the TV.
Yeah.
I was playing Super Nintendo. It was in the fucking, not the living room, but the other room. I can't remember what it's called. Brain fart right now.
Dining
But
room?
I remember very vividly that I was playing Kirby Superstar, and I think it was the Great Cave Offensive, or Milky Way Wishes
I didn't play it.
because
I'm embarrassed.
okay, well, it's a good game. I actually fucked up my old copy a long time ago by peeling the sticker back, and I know a lot of people are gonna fucking hate me for that, but
I don't collect, so
fucking
I don't
deal with it.
know. I have no idea about what's worth whatever. I just found out the other day my Sunset Riders is worth like $80. I don't know the do's and don'ts of preserving video games or appraising video games, but I'd imagine that's bad to take the sticker off.
Well, I was like 6 at the time,
I mean, you
but like,
peeled it back or you ripped it off? I mean, can't you just put it back on?
well, I ripped like
Yeah,
half of the way off.
definitely
Like it looked
docks the
like
resale
you could tell
value.
what game it was.
Yeah. Is that game worth a lot of money?
No, I think it's worth like $40.
That's kind of a
Um,
lot, right?
It's quite a bit. It's pretty fair. It's up there alongside like Super Castlevania 4.
Yeah. Fuck, I had that,
I think
man.
Mega Man X is getting up there.
Well, Mega Man X and X2 and X3, those are worth big bucks, right? But X, not so much.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Fuck, I had those, man. I sold everything.
Damn.
I didn't even know that this shit existed until Instagram. I didn't know that people just bought and traded on eBay, and there was a whole retro community or just community in general. I blew it, man. Dude, I really blew it.
I started like as soon as I started working for Del Taco, which I've frequently given it the nickname Hell Taco because fuck that place.
When did you work for Del Taco?
It was, I think, sometime in May of 2013.
Okay, pretty recent.
And then sometime after that, I started picking up games. Like my first purchase was Final Fantasy VIII and Final Fantasy IX.
Wait,
I've
this is when you
beaten 8
started
of them.
collecting in 2013?
Yeah, that's
When
when I basically started. But that's not the reason why I started.
Okay.
I just originally wanted to play those because I'm a huge fan of RPGs.
Mm-hmm.
I love Earthbound, love Dragon Quest so much,
Nice.
love Chrono Trigger.
That's my favorite game of all time, bar none.
Oh. See, for me, it's difficult because it would be Earthbound, Chrono Trigger, Mother 3, Dragon Quest 7, and then Dragon Quest 5.
No Final Fantasy in there?
See, I like Final Fantasy, but the one I like the most is 6, and I didn't enjoy it as much as
Any of
those other
those?
5.
I agree
It
with
would
that.
probably be 6.
Say it again.
But then-
6 would be in there? Top 5 RPGs of all time or no?
It would be number 6, so it would be definitely in the top 10.
Definitely top 10.
Yeah.
What about
I'd have
Pokemon?
to leave a lot of room for like other games like Suikoden 2 was really good.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed Threads of Fate.
Didn't play it.
It's not a turn-based RPG. It's like an action RPG.
Those are the
But
best ones.
yeah,
I mean,
I like Secret of Mana a lot.
Secret of Mana is one of my top 5. I would probably go Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy 7. I really like Grandia 2, just because I played that right.
I haven't played Grandia 2 yet.
Maybe it was something that I bought it and I paid for it, so I kind of had like,
So you had like full enjoyment of it.
yeah, like I knew how many
So, like,
shitty
it
hours.
being a gift.
Because I worked at Pizza Hut when I was 16, so I knew how like I always looked at things in terms of like how many hours it took working a shitty job to buy something. So if a video game was $60 or $50,
Yeah.
I think of like, damn, that was like a Saturday from 11 to 7 getting like bitched at for like fucking up, like for not putting 50 fucking slices of pepperoni on a large pizza for 8 hours. That's what that game equaled to.
Or not actually stuffing the crust.
Or not stuffing the crust, getting those, what do you call it, string cheese, and you got to bend it around the crust for the stuffed crust pizza.
Yeah.
Burning your hand trying to get the buffalo wings or the toasty bread out. That's what that $50 game equated to. I always put it like that. So Grandia 2 I'd put in there. I mean,
Like you put a lot of man hours into like earning that money to be able to afford it.
I paid for it. I remember there was a time where I went to Costco and with $400 or $300, and I waited in a huge line. I got the PS2 bundle, and they were like, "Oh no, you need a Costco card to buy it." And I was asking
God.
and I was asking all the moms behind me, like, "Hey, will you pretend to be my mother and stuff?" And the guy was like, "No, you got to get out of here. You got to get out of here." I'm like, "Fuck, man." So I had to go buy it at
I
KB
want a
Toys.
goddamn PS2.
I want a goddamn PS2, and
I want the fucking new console, man.
it was a bundle package where I was gonna save $50. Then I had to go to KB Toys and buy like a game, a memory card, and another controller, and spend like 50 more bucks.
Oh,
Sucked, man.
What was the bundle you were planning on getting?
Fuck, dude. Good question. Probably like, I remember the games that came out. It was always like a race game. What were the racing games?
Like ATV.
There was an ATV, but there was also another game. It sold probably like one of the top 5 most copies for PS2. Need for Speed or like.
Maybe it could have been Underground. Or
No, I'll pull it up.
Underground
I'll
2,
pull it up
'cause-
right now. PS2 top selling games. I think it was Need for Speed top selling games.
Underground was definitely one of the top selling.
Gran Turismo. That's what it was. Gran Turismo.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Gran Turismo 4,
Something like that.
3.
Damn,
I know
dude.
there were at least 2 for the first PS1.
Guess what the number one selling PS2 game of all time was? And this is pretty easy if you do the math.
Kingdom Hearts.
GTA San Andreas, 28 million copies. And then Gran Turismo.
Oh shit. I don't know why I didn't think about San Andreas. That
I
was
mean-
a really good game.
Yeah. And that game came out late in the PS2 life cycle. I mean, that game was like right before Xbox 360 and then PS3, and it still sold. Fuck, man. What's 28 times 50? What's 28 million times 50? That's how much.
8 million times 50.
That's a lot of coin. So anyways, so you're an RPG guy. You play RPGs. Is that kind of when you first started playing video games? Were you instantly hooked on RPGs?
See, when I first started playing video games, I originally, and I still have a lot of the games that I had when I was little. I wasn't really introduced to RPGs until I was 7, and even then, I didn't play them. I just watched people play them because
Sure.
they looked interesting to me.
Sure.
But I grew up on Mario. I grew up on Kirby, Donkey Kong, like Disney games. I remember Great Circus Mystery was one of my favorite games as a kid. And
Nice.
lo and behold, another beautiful Capcom title.
Right.
But I think my first actual RPG was either Paper Mario.
64.
Yeah.
That's
it was
kind of
a really
late.
good one.
Do you like that? Do you like Paper Mario?
I really enjoyed Paper Mario. I got it a couple of years ago, and I was playing it, and then I got to Bowser's Castle, and I was like, I don't want to do this again. I hated doing Bowser's Castle. I've beaten the game, so I still feel good about that, but I didn't like doing Bowser's Castle.
I was bummed out with the Paper Mario, though. You know that they kind of initially introduced it as Super Mario RPG 2. So that kind of bummed a lot of people out because it's not even close. Super Mario RPG is light years ahead of that game in terms of being a better overall game. But if you're not dependent on Super Mario RPG, I could see how Paper Mario would be enjoyable.
See, I didn't actually hear about Mario RPG until I was at least 11.
Okay.
So that had to have been in
2000.
what, fucking 2005?
Which is way late.
Like about 10 years late, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't hear about a lot of games. Initially I heard of Chrono Trigger and Super Mario RPG because when my parents separated a while back for just a period of time, probably about 7 years.
Okay.
And my dad had a girlfriend at the time, and she had a computer, and she'd always play on an emulator. And then I looked over the emulator, and she always liked playing Breath of Fire, so I heard about that from her. It looked really good, interesting. Yeah. And then I looked over the emulators and learned about emulators, and I saw Chrono Trigger. I was like, I don't know why that caught my eye, but I booted it up, and I was like, okay, this is actually pretty tight. And I was still not really all that into RPGs.
Right.
I started getting more into RPGs when I was probably 17.
Right.
Because then I had a little bit more time, because at the time I was in school, I was doing music, didn't have a lot of time for games unless I was just kicking back with a few friends playing Medal of Honor Rising Sun.
Cool.
We always played fucking
First person shooters
no, not really.
or
Just Medal
online?
of Honor or like sometimes Melee or Smash Brothers Brawl,
Just
like anything that we can get down on.
3, 4
Like
guys.
sometimes
Yeah,
yeah, like anything that seemed kind of fun at the time.
sure.
See, I don't like FPSs, but I do like Medal of Honor. It's actually pretty good.
Why is that? Just because you were at the right time and right place in your life with those buddies?
I guess it's I guess it could be that. I also love history.
Okay.
So like it could be fictional. I haven't played in it in a while, but if I were to play it again, I could probably pay attention to it and just be like, "Oh yeah, that's legit." So
Uh,
I feel like it was more of like I really enjoy history and I really enjoy games, and if you put the two together, it's really something great. Like if you put like one thing I enjoyed about Mother 3 is the fact that like when you're playing and you're fighting, you can press the A button on beat, like on the tempo, and then it'll continue attacking. So like if you're really into the music and you want to get those extra hits in, you'll actually know the perfect timing and all that shit.
Kind of like Super Mario RPG. When you keep jumping, you can keep it timed. It's
Yeah,
turn
like
based, but there's also a little tactics to it. You're pushing more than just A. There's a timing aspect involved.
yeah, like
Okay.
it speeds up, and if you pay attention to that slight tempo change, or if you just like watch that slight tempo change, you'll be able to get that crazy ass super jump for uh, that one guy in Monsterland. He asked you to get like 50 or some shit like that, and I
That
never could do it.
that little dojo guy,
No, not the dojo guy. I fucked that guy up.
dude. That guy will fuck you up, dude. That guy's fucking heavy duty, man. That little ant with a little
He
mohawk.
is.
He looks like a parakeet.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Wait, who else is in
He's
Monstroland? That's where you fight the guy. It's the made up character from Final
Bullock.
Fantasy. Who's the crystal dude? It looks like a chandelier.
Bullock?
What's it called?
Bullock?
Yeah.
I think
Culex.
that's how it's said.
Culex, right?
Yeah.
Dude, good call
I
on
actually
that.
don't remember him at all from any Final Fantasy game.
I don't think he was in one. But
I think it was more of like a Final Fantasy inspired, like you're fighting the crystals or some shit like that.
that was probably the
Like
hardest boss in the game.
yeah, it was really interesting trying to get to him too. But I think I beat him first try because
No
I was level
way.
30, and that's the level cap.
I
And I
mean,
really just paid attention to what I was doing. I had a lot of pick-me-ups. I had a lot of like mushrooms.
red essence. I remember those were the shit. The red essences.
I don't remember those. It's
It
been
was-
a while since I played though.
I think it was like a haste thing. I think you can go like a couple turns before they would go. So you'd get more attacks off before you
Okay.
take your bruises or something. But I remember those were like the go-to thing to get in Super Mario RPG. There was only like 4 or 5 of them throughout the game. So you had to save them for that part. Or whatever your strategy
Okay.
was. I mean, you beat them without using the red essences. But
Kind of like finding elixirs or like
elixir,
elixirs.
mega elixir, yeah. Did you get the tip in or the weapon in Super Mario RPG where you go back to Booster's
Oh, the
castle?
lazy shell?
Well, I got that. That's when you get the seed and fertilizer, right?
Yeah.
When you get them
You're
up
talking
in.
about a completely different weapon, right?
I'm
Are you
talking about-
fuck. Are you where you fight the jesters?
What's the one where you
Or
see
is
the
it-
jester on the staircase and he wants you to guess he's doing that juggling act and you have to remember what's in his hand like 50 or 100 times. And after the 50 or 100 time he gives you like that star.
weapon.
Yeah, he gives you that star weapon. It's a star that cuts across the battle
Uh,
scene.
Gina.
No.
Would it be for? That sounds like it would be for Gina.
No, it's for Mario. Because I remember I spent like all afternoon trying to get this fucking thing. Because if you guess wrong, if you guess like the different hand, he gives you like a wilted shroom. And I remember I kept having to discard these like 100 times to make room for like the good stuff.
Yeah.
Oh man, I gotta play that game again now. You could probably beat that game in like 8 hours.
Yeah, it's a really easy game.
It's pretty
I mean,
fast.
unless you want to like make Smithy seem like a bitch.
Dude, that
Yeah,
guy
you
was
can,
hard as fuck, man. When you fight him one-on-one.
Oh man.
No, not
I was a crazy
Smithy.
fucking outlaw.
Who's the shark you fight 1-on-1? Jesse Jackson?
Something like
Jesse
that.
James.
Yeah, I think it was Jesse James or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember.
That was
I know
such
what
a
you're
good
talking
game,
about.
man. That was such
After it, you fight that weird looking spear dude.
on the
He looks like a
land,
street-
right on the shore, right?
right off the cliff, yeah. And then he comes up and he harpoons him.
He saves the day.
Yeah. He's a good guy after all. After
Yeah, he
gives
is.
you that stuff.
He's all like, Petar, R, nobody coming to my sea. Yeah. So what's up with your Playboy collection, dude? I want to talk about your favorite retro things that aren't video games.
I have a lot of Playboys, which I also inherit. Actually, I completely forgot that I have some like right next to me.
What do you got?
Let me see.
We talking like
It's
early 90s?
Definitely early 90s. I have one Hustler, so you know there's penetration there.
Hustler was real. Playboy was like
Yeah.
tits and ass and airbrush, but Hustler was like, holy shit, this is how I was made.
Yeah, inappropriately, I have some really old yearbooks above the Playboys. Let's see.
Sometimes you forget which is what.
I just don't know if I'm masturbating to myself from fourth grade or if I'm masturbating to Karen McDougal.
I've been there, man. Who's your favorite centerfold of all time up until about 1997, we'll call it? And you can include all the Baywatch chicks.
Let me look through these and see.
Well, don't take too much.
97. I just picked up a 98.
Go for it.
Pamela Anderson's looking pretty busty, and this is a 92.
When I was a little kid, all I would do, there was a music store called The Warehouse. I don't know if you remember that or not, but what I would do is they would sell posters there for $5. And all I would do was buy posters of Jenny McCarthy, Carmen Electra, Claudia Schiffer, Tyra Banks. I mean, it was all like just big
Those are good ones.
boobs, tight little bikinis on, just barely covering the nip. And those were up all over my ceilings, all over my walls. And I don't even think I had like gone through puberty yet. I don't even know what was going.
Really interested in women very early.
A lot of Claudia
Yeah.
Schiffer, man. A lot of who was the Pepsi model? Who was the chick like the most famous supermodel of all time? She was the brunette. Cindy Crawford. Cindy Crawford? Susan Crawford?
I have no idea.
Cindy Crawford. Yeah, man. I was,
Could be.
and I would always. My dad had this boat. He had this Boston whaler out in the garage. Yeah, Cindy Crawford. Oh
Okay.
man, she used to marry. Oh, she was married to Richard Gere. That fucking sucks. Oh, she was only married to him for like 4 years though. But yeah, my dad had this.
It's like a term.
My dad had this Playboy stash, and I was obsessed with Belinda Carlisle, the lead singer from the Go-Go's. You got that
I'm
one?
gonna have to-
Check out Belinda
I'm gonna have
Carlisle,
to be
dude.
up on that.
Save that one for the Spank Bank, man. Archive that one. And who was the chick that was in Wayne's World? Asia Carrera, Tina Carrera, Private Carrera.
Was Cassandra or
Yeah, it was
are we talking
Cassandra.
about when they? Oh,
Cassandra, Wayne's
I don't know her
World.
real name, but I know that she was Cassandra.
Yeah, Asia Carrera, Wayne's World. She was a babe, dude. You got to get that Playboy.
Yeah.
Check out her titties. Asia Carrera, Wayne World. Tia Carrera. I'm sorry. I'm so racist. I'm calling the Asian people Tia Carrera.
Other culture.
Yeah, Tia Carrera.
Mom
nude.
Carrera.
Oh, we're gonna save this for later.
Cambodian Carrera.
Yeah. Oh, I got her. Is that her? Is that the girl from Wayne's World? I'll send you some Snapchats. Anyway, so what's your favorite piece of retro? Oh, that's definitely Photoshop. That's way too much. Okay, so what's your favorite piece of retro? Anything you have aside from gaming? Is it your Playboys? Is it records? Do you have guitars? Do you have toys?
My brother and I inherited these Playboys. These were also my brother's dad's. But real quick, funny story about one of the Playboys. It's
Let's
very
hear it.
short.
There's nothing funnier than a Playboy story from Dad's stash.
My brother was rolling, I think, a blunt on this Playboy with ginger spice
Yeah.
on the front. She looks like she's straight up animated. It's not attractive.
Okay.
Like, her face looks like CGI.
Okay.
But my mom came over and she saw it on the table, and she was just looking through it. I was like, "Are you enjoying yourself? You really getting a good view of all these women, man?" She was like, "Yeah, they look pretty hot." I think out of this stack, though, Neon Dion is pretty hot.
Your mom did freak out about Playboys and stuff. My mom would call all the neighborhood kids' moms, say we're all beaten off. And I was the weird kid at school for like a month.
Well, my mom found it normal.
Yeah, right? I mean, kids go through puberty. There's beautiful women out there. Not all women look like this.
It's not a weird thing. You shouldn't be discriminated for like masturbating unless you're in a
Unless you're a 50-year-old man. Yeah, hanging out in public.
Yeah, unless you're a 50-year-old man that can't get his rocks off anymore.
Hanging out in the park with young kids hanging out on swings. We're gonna pull the plug. We're gonna pull the plug right now. We're gonna do a station identification and a mandatory beer chug because we're at 30 minutes. And I'm gonna cut these up into 2. So we're gonna be back in like 1 minute, but don't go anywhere.
All right, I'm gonna get me another beer.
Do it. BRB.